Hey everyone, so you've got this beautiful new laminate flooring, but underneath, you've got those old, creaky floorboards. It's a classic DIY problem, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to walk you through exactly what you need to do to get a pro-level finish that's actually going to last. So, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Can you really just lay that new laminate right over your old wooden floorboards? I mean, it sounds like the perfect shortcut. You get that fresh new look without having to rip everything up. But is it really a good idea? Can you just slap it down and call it a day? Well, the answer is yes, you absolutely can. But, and trust me, this is a huge but, that beautiful new floor you're dreaming of, it's only ever going to be as good as the old floor it's sitting on. The real work, the secret sauce to success, is all in the prep. And that brings us right to our first and maybe most important point, the foundation. When it comes to flooring, what's under your feet literally matters just as much, if not more, than what you actually see on top. You know, there's a great quote from flooring expert James Miller that just nails it. Think about it. If your base isn't solid, if it's not stable and flat, you're basically just setting a trap for yourself for all sorts of problems down the road. So why all this fuss about the base? Well, because a poorly prepped base is pretty much a recipe for disaster. I'm talking about those annoying creaks every single time you walk across the room, planks that start to lift up at the edges, and even worse, buckling when the floor starts to shift. Getting this foundation right from the get-go means your new floor is going to stay quiet, flat, and stable for years and years. All right, so how do we actually get that foundation perfect? Let's break it down into a super simple pre-installation checklist. The key here is just to be methodical, take it one step at a time. Okay, we can boil this whole process down to 3 really simple, totally manageable steps. First, we're going to inspect for any damage. Second, we're going to make sure the whole surface is perfectly level. And third, we're going to check for that hidden enemy of pretty much any floor, moisture. So for step 1, you're going to want to walk your entire floor. Really listen. Hear a squeak? Your first instinct might be to hammer in a nail, but don't do it. Use screws instead. They'll secure those loose boards for a much more lasting fix. And hey, if a board feels kind of spongy underfoot or it just looks rotten, don't even try to save it. It's gotta go. Just replace it. I absolutely love this quote. It's just so brutally honest. Seriously, trying to cover up a bad subfloor is just pointless. All those problems, the squeaks, the dips, the soft spots, they're going to find a way to show through. Your fancy new laminate isn't a magic trick. It won't hide those sins. Okay, next up, leveling. You gotta think of your laminate flooring like a painting. It needs a totally flat canvas. This means you might have to get out a belt sander to knock down any high spots and then use a floor patching compound to fill in any dips or low areas. The goal here is a perfectly smooth, uniform surface. So, you're probably wondering, how level is level enough? Well, here's the magic number you need to remember, 3 millimeters. You shouldn't have more than a 3 millimeter dip or bump over a 1 meter span. The best way to check this is to grab a long straight edge and just slide it across the room. If you see a gap or a bump bigger than that, you've got to fix it. And finally, we have to talk about the silent killer of so many flooring projects, moisture. It can warp everything, your old floorboards and your brand new laminate, and that leads to swelling and buckling. This is one step you absolutely positively cannot skip. Okay, so what do? You need to get yourself a moisture meter and take a reading. Here's your target. You want the moisture content in those wooden floorboards to be below 12%. Now, if you've never used one of these meters before, don't worry, they're super simple. Just follow the instructions and make sure you test a few different spots all around the room. If that number comes in higher than 12%, whoa, stop right there. You've got to find the source of that dampness and fix it before you even think about laying down that first plank of laminate. Okay, the floorboards are inspected, leveled, and dry. We are ready for the next layer, and that is the underlayment. I like to call this the unsung hero of any great flooring job. It's such a critical piece of the puzzle, sitting right there between your old floor and your new one. This metaphor really says it all, doesn't it? If the floorboards are the bones of your floor, the underlayment is the muscle. It gives you strength, support, and flexibility. It helps smooth over any tiny little imperfections, it provides some cushion underfoot, it cuts down on noise, and it can even act as a moisture barrier. It's the thing that makes the whole system just work. And the great thing is you can pick the right underlayment for your specific situation. So for example, if you're on the ground floor, a simple foam underlayment that has a vapor barrier built right in is a fantastic all-rounder. But what if you're in an apartment? You might want to look at cork. It's amazing for deadening sound. And if you're working in an older home with a floor that's still just a little bit uneven, a really dense felt or rubber underlayment can give you some extra stability. Okay, take a breath. The prep work is done, the underlayment is down, you have done all the heavy lifting, and now, finally, it is time for the fun part, actually getting to install your beautiful new floor. So, if you want a result that looks like a pro did it, you just have to follow these 4 simple rules. Rule number 1, layer planks perpendicular to the old floorboards. Rule 2, and this is a big one, always leave a 10mm expansion gap around every single edge of the room. I'm telling you, forgetting this gap is the #1 mistake people make, and it's what causes that awful buckling later on. Rule 3, use the click and lock system. It's designed to be easy. You just angle the new plank in, press down, and it locks. And finally, Rule 4, stagger your joints. Make sure the seams between planks don't line up from one row to the next. It's stronger, and it just looks way better. Now, let's circle back to that first rule for a second, the direction you lay the planks. Laying them perpendicular to the floorboards, that's the structurally sound way to do it. It helps bridge any small gaps and stops the new floor from sinking into little dips. But there's another school of thought. A lot of people like to lay the planks so they follow the light from the main window. Why? Well, it does a great job of hiding the seams and it can make the whole room feel longer. So you've got a choice to make there. And just like that, your floor is down. It looks amazing. But hold on, we're not quite done yet. It's the finishing touches that really separate a good DIY job from a truly great one. Okay, here are the final details. First, you've got to cover up those expansion gaps with some nice trim or skirting boards for that polished, finished look. Next, use transition strips wherever the laminate meets another type of flooring, like tile or carpet. It makes the whole thing look seamless. And then, for care, this is important. Clean it with a damp microfiber mop, but never soak the floor with water. Put some little felt pads under all your furniture legs to stop scratches, and of course, wipe up any spills as soon as they happen. You know, it all comes back to that old saying, right? A little bit of prevention, some simple care and maintenance. That's what's going to protect your investment and keep your floor looking brand new for years to come. It is so much easier to prevent the damage in the first place than to try and fix it later. So, let's end with this one final thought. After everything we've just walked through, what do you think? Is the floor you can't see actually more important than the one you can? I think the answer is pretty clear. The success, the beauty, and the long life of that floor you're going to walk on every day, it all comes down to the prep work you put into that foundation you'll never even see again. In the end, preparation really is everything.